What's up, everybody? So it's Trading Gas Money here. If you know, you know. Follow me on X if you haven't. I am the SRNA that trades. I've been trading stocks for over 11 years, and I want to talk about BlackBox. I make a lot of recommendations to people to get BlackBox. I don't make money from this. I should get an affiliate link. Maybe I'll get one, but I'm just going to give you a quick overview, because if I've told you to get BlackBox, this is where I want you to start. On BlackBox, you have the equities tab and options tab. Right now, I'm going to focus on the equities tab because that's the most important part. You're going to click equities first. And when you click equities, you're going to be on a screen like this, right? Where it's going to say alert log, volume and volatility indicator. And then you're going to have a screen that says top gainers. What we trade is momentum. We're basically doing momentum trading. We're trading what's moving. Different times we use different strategies, but mainly what we trade is momentum. So we're going to focus on what's populating on the alert log, which may populate here. So since it's the weekend, we don't really have anything right now. Top gainers, it says there's no data available. So I'm going to go to yesterday so we can see what happened yesterday. So yesterday is the gainers that you're going to see now, which is 8 p.m. You're going to see PTIX, and as you can see, it says price alert. It was alerted at $1.72. The highest it went was $4.47. It tells you how much the change was, which is $2.75. And the potential gain, if you had bought at the alert, was $159.88. So let's say roughly 150%. If you put in $1,000, you probably made at least close to $1,500-$1,600 on a trade if you bought at the alert. Now, the thing with the alert log is that you can't just blindly buy every alert. You need to do research. You need to make sure that you've assessed the stock, assessed the chart, make sure that it's matches your buy signal or sell signal. Make sure your indicators are in place. You have to know how to assess a stock completely, right? Just like you have a patient, you get your patient, you don't just start giving your patient medication, and you got to assess the patient, right? So every stock that you look at, you're going to assess the stock. And in order to assess a stock, you're going to have to go to websites like FinViz, and that's what's going to help you assess the stock. So you assess the stock by 8 p.m. We'll search 8 p.m. We're going to look at the share structure, the float. We're going to also look if there's recent news. What is the news? We're going to look at the chart. We'll also go to websites like Dilution Tracker, but that's for another video, which I have made before. You can check it out in my workflow video. But you're going to look up APM, PTIX, RMSG. We want to focus on stocks that have news. I don't like trading stocks that don't have news, because 9 times out of 10, they can be scams. And I don't like trading stocks that are not US based. So United Kingdom, that's not something that I would normally trade. But if there's news and it looks like it's just going, there's a large possibility that maybe you can trade it. I would just be more cautious. I would trade more stuff that says United States, just because there's more regulations and stuff that are important that they can't do, unlike China stocks and all these other stocks that they can just be doing random pump and dumps. There are pump and dumps in the market. Stocks do get manipulated. So you need to assess each stock before you take the trade. And that means checking the chart, checking the filings, checking the share structure, checking the news, checking dilution, things like that. So this is where you would begin here if you want to find what stocks of the day to trade, if you don't know where to find stocks to trade. Moving along with that, you have this window. Some people ask me, hey, how do I open up multiple charts? To open up multiple charts, you'll click this, you'll click add left. You could add multiple charts here, just like that. If you want to add another chart, you could just click add right, and then it'll add a third chart. If you want to add a fourth chart, you can just add right again and then add the fourth chart. So you can have multiple charts of different time frames. I usually focus on the 7-minute time frame when I'm watching stuff in BlackBox, just because it's giving me between the 5 and 10 minute, which each candle represents 7 minutes. You could also watch multiple stocks. So we could watch OKLO, right? You can watch different stocks. If it has a ring highlight right here, like you see how it highlights, let's say you click something like this, it will change whatever box that is. So that's what happens. If you want to change this and click that, it changes whatever box that is. So for the purpose of this video, I would only use one screen. studies that I like to use, that I recommend that you put on your chart, is going to be the BBS Black Box Stock or 15 minutes. And you're also going to put the go no go trend, which, let me see if it's here. I think it's go no go trend. And especially if you're a new trader, this helps you understand the trend of the stock, whether the stock is up trending or it's down trending. And it gives you the time to at least, sorry, just 1 minute. It lets you make a decision if you should be buying on the uptrend or not buying, but it lets you know what the trend is. So if it's blue, usually it's uptrending. If it starts changing color, usually the trend is changing. And then you have like the pink, where it lets you know, like, okay, this is not looking good anymore. So it'll say no go. So the stock starts downtrending. They do have videos in Black Box where they can explain this a lot better than I can. I highly recommend you watch that. In order to get educated more on Black Box has an education where you can look at the class calendar. So if there's stuff that you don't know or you want to learn more about, such as options, learning how to chart, what are stocks, technical analysis, they have classes that you can go back and watch even in the past from months ago, and you could just learn. They do have live classes where you could attend sessions. As you can see, they have sessions coming up towards the end of the month, Q&As and things like that. You can join that there too. Now, moving along, let's say you do click one of those classes. It would ask you to put your name, email, and phone number. Class will look something like this. So this is the technical analysis class.
101 for a reason. It is a basics class. It's designed for new traders who are trying to figure out how to set up their charts. So there's more content beyond this when you get into more advanced chart system.
So they talk about charting. They help you learn from the basic level. So this is stuff that you can do more homework on. Again, I don't make any money from recommending Black Box. I should get an affiliate link. The 15-minute orb lets you know what the pre-market level is, pre-market high and pre-market low. So as you can see, the pre-market high for the first 15 minutes of trading was 425. The pre-market low for the first 15 minutes of trading was 344. So usually sometimes you have stocks that break below the 15-minute, and that's usually bearish, right? Like you would want to see it kind of recover and take out the pre-market high. So usually when a stock takes out the pre-market high or trades above the pre-market high, it lets me know that the stock is strong. So if it's trading below the pre-market low and can't recover the pre-market high, it lets me know the stock is weak. So it's good to have the go no go trend and the 15-minute orb. You could add VWAP if you want. Probably would be good. Start learning VWAP, read up about it, and go from there. The option tab is a little bit different. You have option flow here. It tells you a whole bunch of stocks that people are buying a lot of options on. As you can see, Open was one of those stocks. It's probably been a lot of what I've been talking about the last week in all these videos. You have Tesla flow. So if you like Tesla, and here goes what I was saying. Tesla broke out above the 15-minute pre-market low was 319. And then the pre-market high was 337, and it broke above and took off. So if you want to see like what Tesla's flow looked like, somebody bought puts for or sold puts for 356,000. There's calls going in for 1.58. And if you want to learn about option flow, they do have videos in the education center that help. You do have option alerts here, which allow you to look at alerts that may be repeater bullish, repeater bearish. And they do have a log where it explains these things of what they mean. But repeater bearish means like multiple buys in that contract is being bought. So like multiple Tesla 335 puts are being bought. So it's saying repeater, like somebody keeps buying it. And then you have repeater bullish, where there's someone keeps buying the same strike over and over and over. So it alerts as repeater bullish. And sometimes this alert log is really good. For example, like this open call went up 671%. This one Tesla call went up 781%. The alert was at 59 cents for this Tesla call, and it went to $5.20. you have this alert on open, which was at 14 cents in the option contract, and the high was $1.08. Now, you know I don't trade options, but if you're interested in options and back testing some of these things, you can follow the alert log. And if you verify the chart, you verify the structure, you verify the move, it could be lucrative. But there's some days where this alert log happens and you get a $2.39 gain, or you actually lose money. So you just want to verify everything with the alert log, make sure it all matches, things of that nature. So this is your option tab. If you want to see something with news, you can click news here. So if you're in the equities tab and you want to be like, does this stock have news? You could just search the stock up. Like if you click APM, then it'll pull up APM here, so you can see it change, right? You pull up PTIX, then you can see if the stock has news. I usually go to an outside news source. I usually verify on X, or I verify on FinViz, just to see what's happening and why the stock is moving. Maybe there's a filing or something of that nature. You do have Tia Stockroom here. Tia is a great trader. You can follow her if you want to follow some trades that she makes during the day for practice. Again, you trade at your own risks. I am not telling you to buy or sell anything she trades, just saying you have the option to follow someone who may be more skilled than you and be able to learn. Then again, you do have the Discord, so you can link a Discord and end up joining the Discord. The Discord is very nice. I like the Discord. I started in the Discord. I'm not really too much in the Discord, but if you wanted to, you could literally come into the Discord here, and you could click BlackBoxStocks, and there's usually a lot of people in voice. As you can see, everybody's like having fun because they play music towards the end of the day, and people post their nice little funny gifs. This is somebody here who made a little bit of money on Apple today. Someone who made some 14.90% on ETH. And Kang, who's excellent chartist, always posts a lot of charts. I learned a lot from him. I recommend you listening to, if you're a new trader, staying in the Discord to learn a lot. If you want to follow some flow that some people post in here, you can follow the flow. And sometimes I might follow the flow. I follow the flow not to trade options, but I might follow the flow to determine if I want to buy the stock or not. And this is just a great place to learn. It's a great community. It's one of the biggest communities that I think that I've been a part of, that has helped me grow as a trader, and I'm passing along to you all for free to help you grow as a trader. So this is BlackBoxStocks. You can click go no go trend, and it kind of lets you know which one has a go no go, like if it changes, right? If it goes red, green, whatever. You could turn on the alerts here if you want, right? It can beep and set up alerts. My best advice to you guys is to go to the education tab. Really learn. The support here is very great. People are always willing to teach you. This is not really like for the gurus or the fools. This is if you really want to learn. Join the class schedule and take time to sit down and learn every day. If you have any questions, man, it's Trading Gas Money here. I hope this walk through a black box and how I use it helps a lot. But this is pretty much a tool that I use to find stocks to trade, or to find flow to follow, to see what institutions are doing in certain stocks. And this is how I use it. You may get better than me at it. Use the guides, use the education, reach out, learn, go to the Discord, talk to people, whatever the case may be. Oh, and before I forget, King does post some trades, like Maria posts trades in here, like some of these professional traders, and they post like futures like SPX, so you can follow them. Cobra is like he's willing to risk it all, and you can see like, okay, he bought $3.10, sold at $5, and he's an excellent futures trader. He's probably one of the best future traders I've ever encountered. And he uses a lot of technical analysis, and he explains why he entered the stock, what was his reason. So if you're into futures and you learn futures, you can learn with that. Ria's dope too. She's plays a lot of long-term options, and she does really well, and she swings a lot. So I'm not a good option trader. I'm never as good as Maria. Maria bought 1975, sold 45.50, but she sometimes holds a pretty long time. So this may have been something she held for a while, but she's really good. I recommend her as well. if you want to learn how to trade options or futures or things like that, these are the people who really do it. Again, I just use the option flow to trade stocks. I do not want to play with DK. I am not good at options. I totally suck. It is not my thing. I've tried it. It's not for me. But this is the rough draft of BlackBoxStocks. So for everyone who has questions of how do I set up my BlackBoxStocks, what do I do? You know, this is an overview of how to do it. And you have supplemental tools here where you can go to the education, look at the class calendar, and just go back on the date and watch all the videos. If you need an intro to BlackBox, if you need this, watch it, put in the work, and it'll pay off. Good luck to everyone trading gas money here. Subscribe.